All right, as I was saying, this first gentleman is all the way from the East Valley, just Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert, somewhere out there. Do me a favor, put your hands together for the first reading, Mr. Mike Boland.
Thank you, Bobby. Yeah, please put your hands together. Because it's always great to be acknowledged by what you can't do yourself, which is clap. Thanks a lot, assholes.
Woo!
Oh, this is going to be awesome. Thank you so much. My ride here was really weird. Bobby, if you don't mind me speaking to this, my drive here was really weird. So I'm driving, and I'll, kind of try to show you. Like this. My hand got a little tired. You know what that's like, sir. Maybe for different reasons, but you still know what it's like. So I'm driving like this. So my hand got tired. So I started driving with my stuff. Okay, right here, Tatum. Right here. I don't know the people up here. I'm from the East Valley. There must be some interesting people up here. This guy over at Tatum looks over to me when I was driving. He goes, "Hey, how come you're driving with your dick?" Yeah. First of all, thank you for that mistaken identity. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Second of all, I never drive with my dick. I brake with my dick. Alright. I'm gonna try some new stuff out. You guys are fun. I'm gonna do it anyway. Nothing cheap. I won't do any cheap stuff like. Is this thing on? Is this on? Is this on? I will not. I love it. I will not do cheap jokes. I will not do.
Oh my God.
That's cheap. I mean, I don't care. Hey, I'm gonna need a chair here. So I'm gonna tell a little story. If you're like me, you go see the movie, right? I don't want anybody sitting next to me. I'm sorry, I like all you people. I don't want you sitting next to me when I'm watching the movie. Social distancing kind of helped a little bit. But I found out a secret that I was able to use. I went and sat down the other day. And when I went to sit down, I hit my elbow on the table, or on the chair in front of me, and it hurt. So here's what my reaction was. I went to sit down, and I have to put this down. I'm like, ow, oh, ow, oh, my God, Cleared out the entire room. I didn't mind. I didn't think anything of it, no big deal. So afterwards, I'm going to get back to that joke. Here's the deal. I like to talk with my hands, all right? And when I don't have something to hold the microphone, my stump just starts flying around like this. I mean, I can't help it. Sir, probably looks like a penis. Is this what a penis looks like flying at you? I'm just curious. Yeah, why would you? I don't know why I'm picking on you. You're a good dude. Sorry. I deserve it. It's okay. No, you're a good dude. So anyway, after I was done watching the movie, I had to go wash my hands. Because I had to go take a piss. So I go to take a piss, and they didn't have they didn't have towels. That's a very difficult word, by the way, for one-handed people. They didn't have towels, but they had those little hand dryers, right? So I put my hands in there. You're like this. You're gonna have to listen to me like. And the thing is like going 180 miles an hour. It's 180 degrees, and this little boy, there's a little boy here earlier, not saying that age, a little 6-year-old boy comes up and he's waiting for me to take it out. I just couldn't help it. I had my hand in here like this. I had him in here like this, and he's watching. And I was like, oh my God, that's way too hot!
That's messed
That
up.
kid's gonna be a great athlete. He jumped about this high, ran out of there. I didn't think anything of it. Again, I was like, yeah, whatever, another night with day in the life for a one-handed guy. But as soon as I get out of the bathroom, there's this woman up there waiting for me like this. She goes, did you scare my son? Exactly what you don't want to hear as you're exiting the men's room. I didn't want to hear that. But what am I going to say? No, it was the other one-handed guy. That's the thing about having one hand. I'm easy to pick out of a lineup. But try to cuff me, Cal. Try to cuff! Try to cuff! I told that joke at a policeman's benefit one time. And this guy, this police officer afterwards comes up to me and he's like, I could cuff you. Thank you, Officer Ivan Drago. You think I'm going to get the gang back together, the one-handed gang? No, it ain't going to happen. Anyway. What else do I want to do tonight? That's it? Oh, that's not even a joke. You know, actually, you mind, when you get a second, you mind giving me my phone up there? Because I do want to show something. So if somebody can give me a hand. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll take the right one, by the way, if you are giving me a hand. So, yeah, I can't believe I still have this in my pocket. I was cleaning up my garage the other day, and I came across my old baby shoe. I mean, it's kind of weird. I don't know why. But here's the weird thing. It still fits. I mean, I cannot believe that. Can you, after all these years, still, and look at it, it still moves. I was always wondering why my old baby pictures, my mom showed me I had like hairy legs. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. I don't understand. I don't understand it. I'm a struggling comedian like we all are. And I had some things before I tried this comedian stuff. I was a bomb diffuser. Did that once. But I was a hand model. I was a hand model. You can believe that, right? I was a hand model. I got beautiful hands. Like, you know, watches and rings and gloves. Of course, this side condoms. Man, there's my gloves. You know what I was doing? What am I doing on time? Doing this? I had some time. We all the comedians, right? We all had time off during this COVID because then we couldn't get any stage time. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to work on an impersonation. I'm going to do it, and I think I'm doing pretty good now. I'm going to do it for everyone here. So, let's see if I can do this. Zzz, I'm a vibrator. Zzz, I'm a vibrator. I'm a vibrator. My wife loves that joke. Thank God she's not here. Speaking of my wife, she got me this watch. It's really nice. Wait a minute. It doesn't have a second hand. That bitch. I'll end with this. You said about another 2 minutes or something like that? A couple things. This one-handed guy, I actually had a one-handed guy at one of my shows recently. And you know what? I'll be honest with you guys, you got me. We do look weird. I don't notice it because I can only see the mirror image of myself. We do look weird. But here's the deal, you know, I'm up here doing one-handed jokes the whole time. I don't think he liked me. He never clapped. Thank you. You know that kills at a one-handed convention? It does. It does. So I'm going to end with this. I am a cancer survivor. Which is good because if I wasn't, Bobby would have had to find another one-handed comedian. You know how common we are. You know, right? But here's the deal, I had throat cancer. And I remember when the doctor came in, he's like, Mike, you got throat cancer. Are you a smoker? It's like, no, I'm not a smoker. Do I need to start? What do you recommend, meth? Apache Junction is right down the street. I can get it tomorrow. But here's the deal, I had a tumor the size of a golf ball in my throat, and people will ask me, how did you not feel a tumor the size of a golf ball in your throat? So, well, I've never had balls in my throat. I mean, that's just me. I'm not judging. We're not considering the mouth. I had to earn money through college, but that's it. Anyway, you guys have been great. Thank you so much. Thanks for letting me start.
One more time, you guys put your hands together for Mike Bowens. Just having flashbacks of 80s rock for a moment. All right, man, thank you guys for laughing, sticking around. I'm going to sit back down and drink some beer and give you guys another comedian. This guy has been on hiatus since before COVID. He did get sick, but he did a lot of work, and now they said, hey, man, can I come tell jokes if you got time? I'm like, well, since they said it started at 7 and we started at 8, we must be late, so I got time for one more comedian to add him to the mix. Put your hands together for the next guy, Aaron Heiss.
guys for sticking around. And as he said, I've been on hiatus for quite some time. For some of you, you've been coming out, within the past few months. I have been in quarantine for over 10 years. Yes, that's right. Some people call it jail. I call it a relationship. Whatever. So I tried to make it a life sentence. I didn't pull out in time, so now I got a kid too. You know, kids will destroy your whole fucking social life. Let's just accept it. Can we go ahead and call pregnancy an STD? Can we agree on that? So, a little bit about me. I have some controversial jokes. I'm okay with that, but there are some lines I try not to cross. I do not like to joke about domestic violence, because I don't find it funny that my ex beat me. I don't like to joke about rape. Those jokes are not something you want to force on people.
Oh, yeah, you saw what you did there.
Last time I told that joke, someone just straightened out, yes, rape is not funny. I fucked up by saying, no, I recommend you don't laugh when you get one. Didn't go over well. Just like it didn't go over well here. Anyways, so during COVID, there's a lot of things for me to consider, a lot of things for me to think about, especially, you know, one of the big things that I realized that was going on, especially with the shots, there's a lot of people who literally cannot get the shots because they're allergic. Controversial moment, I cannot get the shot because I'm allergic to tyranny. Not the right crowd for that. This is why we have open mics, figure shit out. It's going to work. Alright, so I don't want anyone to sit here and admit that they actually watch men wrestle in spandex, but does anyone remember when the WWE was called the WWF?
Yes.
Thank you. Perfect. So, for those of you who don't know, they had to change the name to the WWE because the WWF was owned by the World Wildlife Federation? Foundation, excuse me. I did not know you could sue someone over an acronym, so I have to know, is BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, going to have the balls to do it? And if you're mad about that, I want you to realize that's a false premise because the government's not going to sue itself.
Word.
Oh, that's where I took it too far.
No.
That's good to know we have lines here, lines of decency. I don't know what the fuck those are. So, I was born and raised in California. I moved here over 15 years ago. I didn't bring the bullshit with me. I saw it coming. So I just want to get that out of the way right now. I'm one of you. I promise. After 15 years, I think I earned that. So, with that said, I had a really weird childhood. Did anyone else have the opportunity to go to Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch? Think about it as a representative. No. I had to go to counseling for a lot of fucking years over that. Many years. Now, you all are laughing about it, but it fucks you up as a kid. You're sitting there thinking to yourself, you know what? If Michael Jackson won't play with my dick, who will? All I got was that stupid fucking t-shirt. Another thing I miss about California is family. Got to go to San Francisco, help my friend's gay uncle move. We call him Uncle John. If I could describe this man in an octave, just on how gay he is, it'd go, Jesus Christ! Like, he's gay. We love him to death. He's a good guy. So, when we're walking around San Francisco, somebody hears him and says the most horrific shit I've ever seen somebody say to a man. And he says, you fucking homosexual, I'm going to beat the fucking piss out of you. Before I could be upset or offended, Uncle John pipes in and says, honey, there's only two things in this world I'm good at. That's sucking dick and fighting. I'm just as good at both.
All right.
So, I think with images, so the first thing that went through my head is, God, I hope Uncle John can suck a dick because this is going to be a hell of a fight. Like, can you imagine you insult someone that badly, then this man just beats the fuck out of you and he tops it off by sucking your dick. Like, how fucking insulting is that? You can't even defend yourself, and now this guy's blowing you for the same thing you insulted him for. And then it gets worse. He starts finger blasting him. Goes for the male G-spot. Doesn't even fucking care. Come everywhere. The guy's on the ground crying. And then everyone who laughed at that joke just realized double standards. You laughed at a rape joke.
Whoa, hey.
Anyways, so yeah, I've been on hiatus for a while, so it's time just to get out and try this again. So I will see you guys soon. We'll get warmed up. Thank you very much.
You guys put your hands together like you meant it for Aaron. That's what you call knocking the dust off of your jokes. Like, you know, if you don't have sex for a long time, you're like, gotta knock the dust off of the box. He hasn't done that shit forever, man. I'm over here, I got tears in my eyes because, like, some of the shit he said really challenges you to think and catch up to where his brain is at. Thanks, Aaron.
I was high.
I like it. Was it the Bureau of Land Management?
Yeah, true story.
See, I want to make sure I remember their shit. You know what I'm saying? The Bureau of Land Management. Is that a government? Never mind. It's a government organization. Come to the stage next. I do not have an order or an odor. But I'm just going to call you, so please be ready. Whatever your material is, be ready. And if you're not going to come up, say, nah, not tonight. It'll only cost you a beer to decline coming up here, that's all. And a trip in an Uber. All right, next person come to the stage. I think I'm going to bring somebody up in the cut. I think that'll be good too, right now. Go get a beer, sir. All right, this next lady come to the stage is a part of the Jokers, Jesters. We are biker comics, and all the ladies in the fucking group have a motorcycle. And I'm not calling myself a lady, but I don't have a motorcycle. So the ladies are tough, so I guess I get to ride, bitch. Is that what you call it? Yeah. When we go on rides and shit, I'm like, okay, ladies, which bike do I get on? So I get to ride, bitch. So just remember, I'm not the bitch of the crew, but when we go on rides, I'm like, I'm riding with bitch you, or I'm riding bitch with you. And that's my only choice. Otherwise, I'm like on the back of a dude's bike. I don't think there's a cool way to put that at all, right? Just, come on, bro, get on the back of my bike. All right. I'm not a comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, welcome this young lady to the stage. Vera is funny.
Okay, so for those of you in the group who aren't in one of these vests, please grab your Facebook, follow Jokers Jesters. We're trying to get to my personal goal is to get to 5,000 followers by Thanksgiving. If you guys could help me, that'd be great. So follow the group on your Facebook, Jokers Jesters, and invite your friends, because we post a lot of funny stuff, and this guy might just do some breakdancing again. It's on there, I promise, it's on there. Okay, so I'm in a jealous relationship. It's kind of toxic. So the other day I walk in the door and I get the riot act right from the get-go. Where have you been? Who you been around? Who you been touching? You know, to the point where I'm getting smelled to see if I smell like someone else. It's not healthy. So finally I'm like, okay, Lily, it was only one dog. And it didn't mean anything. It didn't mean anything. I didn't even like it. I only pet one dog. There were no belly scratches. Maybe I got kisses on the face. And she's like, and she just turns around and leaves me alone. She's pissed. I get the silent treatment. Yeah, jealous dog. So there's this guy that I'm friends with that I want to have sex with. It's never going to happen. Woo! Yeah. But that's okay. But I was thinking about, have you ever, imagine imagine having sex with somebody? Nobody's done that, right? I know one. Okay. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I wonder what his O-face looks like. She's like, I know what an O-face is.
No,
This couple definitely knows what an O-face is. And then I realized, I was thinking back to like all the guys I've had sex with in my whole life. And what they both have in common is that their O-face looks like their angry face. Same face. O-face, angry face. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like imagining, we're having sex and having sex with this guy and he's doing his thing and, everything's happy and I'm thinking about what his O-face is going to look like. And don't worry, I've already come because I go first. I did that before I left the house, so I'm good. So he's finishing and doing his thing and he makes this angry face and I'm thinking, I don't think I can do this. Maybe I don't want to have sex with this guy. I'm laying there in my imagination thinking, I shave my toes for this? No thanks. No thanks. All right, so I'll leave you with a couple things. My phrase is embrace yourself and expose your weird, because we've all got some weird to expose. And if you liked any of my jokes, please go on Facebook and Insta and follow me on Vera Funny, like very funny, but Vera Funny. So have a good day, guys. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you guys for hanging out with Vera Funny. As she said, follow us on Instagram, but please go to Joker's Jester page. Kimmy is our first sponsor, actually, so that's why we're here trying to represent our club and Kimmyz by entertaining her patrons. So thank you guys for coming out. I was playing a song for you, Vera. It was my shit in like 11th grade. Serious. We were doing experimental drugs in 11th grade. This was my shit. What were they? Speckled eggs, crosstops.
Oh, yeah.
Any pill that you would give a name, we were trying to take them to get high. Anyway, the 80s and Boone's Farm. Just saying. No one else remembers Boone's Farm, just me? I'll say something that someone identifies with, one of these. All right, coming up next, this guy just started comedy recently. I think it was this year. He shared a lot of information with me and said he wanted to make this shit a part of his life. So I had some opportunities and I said, you can have every single one of them. Just keep coming to tell jokes. So he's fucking funny as shit and he's very young and new. Put your hands together for Cole East.
Kimmyz on Tatum. How you guys doing tonight? I love saying that because Bobby gets so mad at me. I promise I won't do it at 10 p.m. Bobby.
Oh, shit. Thank you. Thank you, Jody.
If I see one more dude's nipple out at the gym, I'm just going to lick it. I think I have everyone's attention now. Have you guys seen this shit? I just went to the gym the other day, and I swear to God, it looks like every guy there looks like they just stepped off of the set of White Men Can't Jump. They got these shirts, they're all cut down like this, like Wesley Snipes and shit. No one wants to see your nipples. They are useless. We have them for no reason. Okay, what do you think is happening? A bunch of chicks over here doing yoga lattes is coming over like, damn, did you see his nipple? Girl, I'll be right back. I gotta go fling the bean real quick. Fuck. So I'm the daughter my mom never had. Yeah. In grade school, this woman used to perm my hair. In first grade, she thought it was a good idea to give me a bright red backpack that says my mom sells Avon. She actually named me after two dudes in a book, Dominique and Cole. And my sex life tracks very well with them, because obviously, they were hot as shit. My mom has good taste. Look at me. I mean, she produced this, right? But my sex life is right on track with theirs because they're not real. So, comedy did finally get my pee-pee wet. that was interesting. I went and did 15 minutes at a bar in Peoria called the 44. And the bartender was not impressed. I'm sitting there, I got my book, I got my phone out, wearing my hat. And this chick is like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I was going to do some comedy. Well, they're primarily music, right? So she's like, okay. I was like, well, how dirty can I get? She's like, look around you. It looks like Metallica threw up this bar. All right, there's tattoos in here older than you. You can get as dirty as you fucking want. So I get up there, I do my 15 minutes, I come off stage. She comes out from behind the bar and high fives me. And then she buys me drinks. A week later, we have sex. We get done, and she looks over at me, we're getting dressed, and she's like, so, how many domestic violence charges do you have in your record against women, specifically women? So I went ring shopping. That's true love right there, in my opinion. So that was a little new. I'm gonna work it out in a room like this. Not sure. Jason's looking at me a little sideways. No, she didn't. She left me though. She dipped to Lake Havasu, and I think she left because I never learned how to eat pussy right, 'cause I can't grow facial hair. In high school, I worked for a skating rink, and the owner came up to me one day, and he's like, hey man, are you shaving yet? And I'm like, no. He's like, okay, well, do you want to know how to make it grow in? I'm like, well, yeah, tell me. He's like, all right, next time you go down on your chick, you just dig it in there a little bit, and the juices will get the hair follicles growing in. Well, 22 years later, I'm still doing it all wrong, sir, because when I went down on Havasu chick, I was just like, she's all, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, what? Trying to make my beard grow in. Why has this got to be all about you at the moment? Why can't you help me out? So now I'm single as fuck. I'm so single, my hymen is growing back. I'm so single, I changed my Tinder profile to it's complicated. And miss, if you got as many dick pics as I got, I apologize on behalf of every man in here. But one thing I did learn about getting that many dick pics, though, is I'm extremely average. That was a good time. So, my kids are assholes. They either A, they don't like my Jimmy Neutron haircut, or B, they don't like my 5-head, because they keep buying me hats trying to make me look like Blossom. So, Kingsley loves this hat, by the way. He tells me to wear it every day.
Yay.
Now I just look like a villain or something out of Breaking Bad. So, is it a parent fail if I know my 10-year-old son is already going to be into dominatrix? He likes to get beat up by his sister a little too much. My 14-year-old daughter spoils the shit out of me, man. This girl, she doesn't talk about boys. She hasn't gone live, if you know what I mean. And every child I've had since her is just, like, my 10-year-old called me up the other day. He's like, Dad, I have hair growing in places that I don't really want it to grow. And I'm like, well, man up, shit. Your sister's vagina's going to start bleeding soon. At least you ain't got to worry about that shit. Hey, I'm already in therapy for that. Don't you ruin on me right now, all right? I had to see my therapist twice this week. My 6-year-old, though, is smarter than everyone in our house already. This little girl, at 3 years old, I took her to the doctor, and she was using the word stethoscope in its proper vernacular with the doctor at 3 years old. She came over to my house a couple weeks ago, and she was like, why isn't your bed made? I'm like, well, shit, all right, I'll never not make my bed again. So now I send her updates, I send her pictures. I'm like, look, I made my bed. So, she is so smart. She's going to run the world one day. She is the next Putin, I'm sure of it. All right, I got a killer laugh at a real audience, so fuck all of you. Is that 5 minutes, Bobby? I didn't even start my watch, man. Damn it. I'm fucking up every which way but Sunday. I love comedy. I love comedy so much I went a little crazy with it at the beginning. I stopped caring about my kids. I stopped caring about car payments, whatever it took just to get to an open mic. I was so crazy with comedy, I stopped masturbating. And I don't know if you know this as a male, but if you stop masturbating, your body will create tummy puddles all by itself while you're sleeping. There was no fucking wet dream. There was no Salma Hayek. I woke up one day and I'm just like, what the fuck is in my belly button? I guess that shit comes out all on its own, whether you want it to or not, sir. A lot of people don't know that because at 12 years old, we've just been doing that ever since we learned how. There is no pause button on that shit unless you love something a little bit more. Learn that the hard way. So my name is Cole East. You guys can find me on YouTube. I'm Comedy Cole. I have nothing on there, but we're going to figure it out with that thing right now. So I'm also on Instagram. You guys want to follow me on Instagram? It's Comedy Cole. Thank you guys for your time.
One more time for Cole East. All right, we have exactly 2 more comedians. Just 2 more comedians at the same exact price. Right. Yeah. Yes, you are. Well, this next lady is actually the very reason that I was called out to be the biker. I was on the back. I'm going to be on the back of her bike because she said she was going to drop her keys all the time we went on rides, and that's how I earned my way on the back of that bike. If you could be so kind to put your hands together for the next comedian, Maureen Lombardo.
Thank you, Bobby. I've said it before, Bobby is the masturbation material for all my showers. How's everybody doing tonight? Where are the bikers? Where are the bikers? Oh yeah, love my motorcycle. I hadn't ridden in like 10 years, and I finally got back into it about 2 years ago. And I got myself a Kawasaki Vulcan, which is it's a nice medium-sized bike to get back into riding. But you outgrow it really fast. I was riding for a few months and I joined a riding group, and that was a little bit sketchy because, you know, I show up for the ride, I'm surrounded by Harleys and Indians, and they get going, and then here comes me. It's like an angry bee. It was so embarrassing. And I realized I gotta get a bigger bike. I need to be able to hang with these folks. And my wife, who is not a rider, was not impressed. You see, I was going to go out and buy a Harley that was like double the price of the bike I had, and she was not impressed by my arguments. You know, like all the other kids have Harleys. Like I need a 6th gear. They're all gonna laugh at me. You know, but it worked. Yeah, it worked out. I got my Harley, and I love my Harley. Got it all tricked out with Willie G. I went nuts with accessories, you know. Like, that's all I got into. I don't know how to change the oil, but I've got fringe everywhere, you know. Yeah. I really thought riding a bike would make me more butch, but it kind of turned me into a gay man. It did. And I've got my daughter riding with me. I put her on the back of my bike, in Bobby's seat on the back of my bike. And that's tricky because Talia has autism and she's super, super sensitive to noises. But you stuff her little head into a full face, she's not hearing shit. So we go all over the place. But that kid is so quick to rat me out. You know, the first time I took her on the ride, my ex-partner was really nervous about it. So we got done with the ride and I took her home, and Paula was like, "So how was the ride?" And Talia's like, "Yeah, it was great. It was like being on a roller coaster." That was a phone call. You know, and my partner's like, "What were you doing?" It was like a roller coaster. So I could just see as we keep having these experiences, she'll be like, Mommy took me to this cool place for a Shirley Temple. There were all these ladies dancing around a pole. They were so nice. They were cold though, because you could see their boobs. Do you have change for a 20? Mom needs singles for next time. Oh yeah, she will wrap me out quick. So who's excited that recreational weed is now legal? Hands? Yes. I myself enjoy the occasional edible, and I can do that, and with my portion control, have a couple of gummies, easy. Tear off a couple squares off the Rice Krispie treat, pretty good. I made the mistake though of buying a pot-infused chocolate bar, and one night I had a couple tears off the Rice Krispie treat, and I thought, I'm gonna try my chocolate bar. So I opened it up and I took a square. Now, I don't stop at one square at any chocolate bar. This body doesn't just happen, I work at this. So I'm like, this chocolate is delicious. I kind of didn't even think about the weed after, and after a while the whole damn thing was gone. So that was 100 milligrams. And when I was crawling to the bathroom, I started doing math and I realized that 100 milligrams was sitting on top of the 30 milligrams from the Krispie treat. Yeah, I was a mess. I spent like 90 minutes looking for my ferret. My entire life, I have never had a pet ferret. Finally, I fell asleep. And in the middle of the night, I woke up screaming. I thought I was falling off a cliff. So use me as a cautionary tale, please. If you decide to buy pot-infused chocolate, do yourself a favor, and before you even open the bar, adopt a ferret. Because there's no reason you need to look like an idiot when you start looking for that ferret. I'm here for you. That's all I was going to do, Bobby, but what the fuck, I'm here. I'll do an oldie but a goodie. Here's what I can say to you about anal sex. Now, men, if a woman is nice enough to offer you anal sex, please do not react in one of these three ways. Please do not act afraid, dismayed, or shocked. Any one of those three things can hurt some feelings and can be taken the wrong way. I'm going to say this to you. If a lady is nice enough to offer the anal sex, please, please, please just pound her like the skanky whore she's decided to be. It's just the polite thing to do. I'm Maureen Lombardo. Thank you so much.
Man, I love holding hands with women who like women.
What?
How does that work? Does everyone like? Never mind.
No.
I have no questions. You're like, don't do it, Bobby. Don't do it. All right, we have one more comedian left. This guy is extremely funny. He's like, yeah, fuck it, just say my name and I'm on the way. He's extremely funny. He's like, yep, that's me. I'm talking, that's me. He is. He's extremely funny. I enjoyed listening to him a couple of years ago, and then got hooked up with him right here at Joker's Jesters. And he rides a motorcycle and tells jokes too. Put your hands together for Ramon Gama.
What's up, guys? Good to be here. How you guys doing? It's good to see you guys again. Get up for a call. Looks like the hype man on a 311 cruise. Like, he's gonna do it. Look, Cole looks like he loses his mind when fucking Amber comes on the speakers at